Welcome back, my friends. A little bit of ELP there. Trust me, I don't sing. At least not well. My name's Mike. I'm a former lead engineer at San Joaquin Valley Rehab, division of Vibra. And this is going to be a series of videos laying out some of the issues that are going on at the hospital. I want to, again, reassure you that, and I will in the beginning of all these videos, that in no way is anything that I say in these videos to be taken as a concern for you if you need rehabilitation care, whether it's physical, occupational, speech. The staff there, the nurses, the therapists, the support staff are there for you. It is an absolutely wonderful facility and with a wonderful group of people that honestly care about the benefit of their patients, family members. It's my mom was there. You know, I said that earlier. Friends, I can't tell you how many friends I've had there, people from church. It is, you know, I could tell you so many stories about the lifting up of people's spirit, going in there, and then when they're done, coming out. Oh my gosh. I mean, you know, it is a wonderful, wonderful place. The problems that we're going to be discussing in these videos is strictly an administration problem between the administration and the employees. And it's sad that, you know, I never thought I would be in this type of position, but I am now, and I'll accept it. I'm not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll go on with it. In video 1, you heard a story about Jill. And with the exception of the genders, that's the position I've been in for almost 14 years working for San Joaquin Valley Rehab. I started there back in 2006, March of 2006. Up until the last part of October, I was the only engineer there. I worked long hours. I worked day and night. I did what was necessary to try to bring the building up to what I considered a reasonable repair state. Unfortunately, it wasn't as nice a place as I would want. And I have to admit, because of some of the things that have gone on, our routine got knocked all out of whack, and I'm not happy with the way I left the place. I'm not happy how I left the place. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is on-call pay. I worked for the hospital, largely a female-led hospital. You know, the administrators are all women, with the exception of one man. The nursing staff is 90 to 95% women. Varies a little bit here and there, but they're being paid on-call pay. And understand that, you know, you have to come in. If they have a nurse get sick, get injured, or can't come in for some reason, the state requires them to have, you know, a certain amount of staffing, and they have to cover those positions. So, you know, and they might get called, who knows when, but typically they'll know when they're going to be calling during the shift changes and things like this, or possibly, you know, if somebody gets injured or comes down sick, and has to leave work, they might be called in at a different time. The liaisons, they're the people that bring people into the hospital. They're the nurses and staff that go out and interview and look at the qualifications for the person coming to us. And it's important for them to go to these other hospitals and facilities to interview and to look at the circumstances and see if they're a good fit for coming to San Joaquin Valley Rehab. Now, they have been paid on-call pay for quite some time. I mean, I am not absolutely sure that they still are. They might. They've been doing some things with different shifts and stuff. So they may or may not be paid on-call pay now. The inpatient admitting, they still get paid on-call pay. And as far as I know, again, they have done some shift changes so that they can cover more like weekends and stuff like that. But they still, when nobody's there, and they're not going to get called in at 10 o'clock at night normally to admit a patient. They're not transferring patients at 10 o'clock at night. But 8 to 5, maybe 7 to 4, they're normal, somewhat normal working hours. They could get called in at any time to come in and take care of getting somebody admitted to our hospital. Maintenance, basically, we're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if they need us. Doesn't matter what time of day or night. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday or a weekend. Doesn't matter. I've been called when I was in Indiana on vacation. I've been called when I was in Washington State on vacation. Now, of course, I can't fly back and take care of it, but I do manage to get a hold of vendors or whatever I need to do to get the facility taken care of. Sometimes I call my boss, and say, hey, this is a situation. We need to get something done. Sometimes I call another employee at the hospital and talk to them and work them through it. But whatever's necessary to keep the facility running, to keep it comfortable, keep it safe. And I can't tell you how many events that I've missed or been interrupted by being on call. The worst day, as far as numbers of calls, I was taking a real estate investment class downtown, and lo and behold, I got called 18 times that day, all surrounding the same issue. It was something in the kitchen, flooding or something, and I'd called to have a plumber come out and take care of it. Well, they couldn't get out there in time, or not in a reasonable fashion, and they were having a mess. And I got called from everybody. I mean, my boss, a couple of people from the hospital or from the kitchen staff, housekeepers, the AOC. I mean, I got called from everybody. And I finally told the guys that were, this is a class that I paid for, that I'm going to have to leave. And they said, well, they took down my information. They said, we will, you can take the class again at a later date. And I did. I took it 4 years later. I went in to see Harry Potter with my two boys, and got called. Somebody had dumped some, no, I take it back, it wasn't water, but a fan, the bearings went out in a fan in a patient room heat pump, and it was making a god-awful noise. If you know anything about fans and how much noise it can make. And I ended up having to leave the theater before the movie started, and I got back after the movie ended. And, so I missed the whole movie that I intended to watch with my boys. I've been involved with FLL for 3 years, FRC for 8. And I've been called from robotics tournaments in Madeira and had to come in. I've been called for during classes and training sessions with the kids and had to come in. I've been called from church, I've been called from dinners, I've been called, just you name it. So anyway, and 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, or in the evening, weekends, holidays, doesn't matter. If the facility needs something taken care of, you got to take care of it. And it's not right for our patients to have them wait 2 days if something happens on Friday, and have them wait all the rest of the night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday to Monday, before anybody will look at it. That's not right. And the company knows that. They just don't want to pay for that service. But anyway, so, again, as they pay people who are in positions that are primarily women. It's a women-run facility. And if it was turned around, I don't think anybody would deny the fact that this would be grounds for a discrimination lawsuit. I'm not comfortable with lawsuits, but I'm thinking that this company needs to be held to account. And there's other things on this discrimination thing that will be coming up in later videos concerning discrimination based on gender, which is what this is about, and discrimination based on age, which is another issue. And so anyway, that's about it for this short video, and I'm hoping that I'm keeping these short enough. I did a couple of long ones. They were 20 to 30 minutes long. I thought, nobody's going to want to listen to an old man for 20 or 30 minutes, So I'm trying to keep them shorter. There's a lot of information that I'm not including in these, obviously, by keeping them shorter. But and I will split them up into smaller segments. Again, I thank you very much, and have an absolutely wonderful... Oh, one other thing. If you are a member, former member of the employees for San Joaquin Valley Rehab or Vibra Hospital, and you feel like you have been wronged in some form or fashion, or if you think that, or you'd like to send me a note of encouragement, I can use it right now. Or if you felt that I've slighted you in some way, it's never been my intent to do so. But I'm going to hold up my address here. This is my address. It's 5730 North 1st Street, Fresno, or Suite 105-123, Fresno, California 93710. It is a post office box, or a postal annex box. And, especially if you've been terminated or in some way disciplined by the people at San Joaquin Valley Rehab or Ballard or any of the other California hospitals or any of the Vibra hospitals. And tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind hearing from you, even if you're not in one of the Vibra hospitals. I'm not sure how systemic this problem is throughout the nation. I don't know if it's strictly San Joaquin Valley Rehab, strictly Vibra, strictly hospitals in Vibra in California, or if it's a nationwide problem. But the future videos and the things that I'll be discussing, you'll see them, and I'll put the address back up a couple more times throughout the time. But again, I thank you so much, and have an absolutely wonderful day. Take care.